Got.
Hi guys, welcome to Fit With Us episode 18. How are you today, Gary?
I'm very well, mate. How are you, Kyle?
I think we should probably come up with an intro. You know that time when we said we're going to get an intro with music and stuff? Probably the
Uh,
time like we rip the band-aid off and get something done with that.
I know, mate. I know. I've got a friend, Dave, who said he would put something together for this. So I'll get in touch with him and see if he's got anything. He did ask for ideas, kind of what music we would like, but I've not got a fucking clue.
Nah, mate, I'm the least musically orientated person of all time. The last people I liked, I think, were the Arctic Monkeys, and that was back in the good old days. That was the last thing I liked. Like
The very good old days, the college days.
saying that, mate, I was a bit of a Justin Bieber fan before it was actually trendy to like Justin. You know that way that like he kind of went through that he was all right when he started singing "What Is It? Where Are You? No, sorry" and all that. You know how like
Ah,
to like him. I actually quite liked him back in the days where he was singing like was it Power with Will I Am and stuff, and it was like first I had a piggy bank, now I've got a bigger bank. All the like all the good stuff.
I'm not even going to respond to that, mate.
Don't absolutely.
How is do you know what? We may as well just be honest to the people that are listening or watching. Me and Kyle have made a complete arse of it this week, and both of us forgot that we were recording a podcast this morning.
Yeah, we were both fucked up last weekend for different reasons. Gary was in Tenerife, weren't you?
I was in Tenerife on a stag do, and pretty sure I'm still feeling the effects it a wee bit just now, and it's fucking Friday. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. A good time was had.
It looked like a good time. I see you logged all the beers that you drank as well. That was
Mate, I got a ridiculous amount of steps in because the villa that we were staying in was on top of a hill. So everywhere we had to go, it was all downhill. And coming back, it was just, oh my God, it was just a slog. But I only took Converse and Vans with me. So it was flat shoes. And see, walking up the hill, my calves, honestly, I was still feeling them yesterday. I had the biggest calf pump and the DOMs just wouldn't go away. And it was just because I was wearing flat shoes and I was doing like fucking 15 plus thousand steps a day.
that's maybe the answer, mate. I've been trying to go cast for the last 15 years and it's not happened. So I just need to get myself a wee flight and some flat shoes to Tenerife.
That's it, man. We Converse and we pair of Converse and do some hill walks.
Yeah, mate. To be fair, from what I've seen on social media, albeit it was like free posts of beers every time, it looked like you were having a good time anyway.
It was good. It was good. So the way I navigated it, right, and this will be good for people that are going on holiday and, like worrying about how they're going to navigate a holiday without fucking their progress. So I was away. We flew out Friday morning, came back Monday night. So I was away Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. What I done was I chose one night to just let loose, and that was my Saturday night. Friday night, of course, we got there. There was beers on the plane. Had a few beers when we got there. Had a few beers with dinner, but that I capped it at just a few beers, and I actually went to my bed about midnight on Friday, which is mad for a stag do. They all stayed up till like 4 o'clock, but because I was working Saturday morning, so I had a reason to call it a night. So called it a night early. It was a fucking fantastic decision. Got up fresh as a daisy on Saturday, and Saturday was my day to go. Like all hell was let loose on Saturday. After I'd done my work in the morning, I had a bottle of Buckfast at 11 a.m.
Good man.
and that set me up.
That's your normal Saturday though, isn't it?
That's my normal Saturday. And that just set me up for the rest of the day, mate. We were by the pool all day, just beers, sangrias. I was an absolute mess on the Sunday. Like I struggled to even stay awake on the Sunday. Didn't go to sleep until like 6 a.m. Or 8 a.m. even on the Sunday. So it was nearly a 24-hour shift. Um
Just before you go any further with this, mate. So
mhm.
you started this conversation with this is a good idea for the listeners to do it. You're saying so at 11 o'clock in the morning, we start the fast and we essentially drink through for our 22 hours. Yeah, it sounded good, mate.
Uh, Basically, all I'm saying is if you're going on holiday, pick 1 or 2 days that you just let loose. The other days, try and beat on it because Sunday I was back on it. I was getting my steps in. I didn't touch a single drop of alcohol. I made sure my water was topped up. I tried to eat food, struggled a wee bit. Um, but yeah, basically what I'm saying is if you're away for a weekend, pick one day to let loose. If you're away for a week, pick 2 days, 3 days to let loose, and then just be on it the rest of the time rather than just absolutely fucking it every single night because you're going to come home feeling like an absolute bag of shit and you're going to struggle to get back on it. And you're probably going to reach for the takeaways, reach for the phone the takeaways for the next 4, 5, 6 days. So yeah, bottle of Buckfast at 11 a.m. couple of days a week, and you'll be sorted.
What time's it at the moment? Ah,
It's to eh?
I was about to say Buckfast over here in Ireland's a fucking fortune though, mate. It's like it's not like in the good. I'm sure it's probably more expensive in Scotland now, but remember in the good old days, you used to get like a bottle of Bucky for a fiver or whatever it was. So I think
Aye.
it's 3.49 at one point. Um, it's 15 quid or something over here for a bottle of Bucky. I was like, how do the kids have a good time over here? I have no idea. Can't get a
Jesus.
bottle of Bucky.
Well, it's about 9 quid here now. And the one that I got in Tenerife was €12.
12 euros, Jesus, expensive enough. Like
I know.
great
But it was
time at
what?
11, great time at 11 in the morning, right enough. But
Oh, it was fucking fantastic. And I had it in the freezer, so it was ice cold.
I've never actually been a Bucky fan. I know our mate Deek, he likes Bucky,
Oh
and
yeah.
I've had a bit of it from time to time, but I've not. It's never been. I just feel like my stomach just is in knots.
It's definitely an acquired taste as well. The sugar content in it, I don't even want to know, and the caffeine content is ridiculous. So instead of a coffee, I had Buckfast.
Fair enough. I actually, full disclosure, not very different weekend to you last weekend. I was doing Hyrox. I didn't actually even know what Hyrox was till about 2 weeks before I done it, and didn't really do any training for it, and it absolutely tore the arse out of me. But like Gary, I kind of budgeted being back home over in Glasgow. I was like, I'm going to have a decent, I'm going to go on the session after it, just enjoy myself. I was that fucked, man. I actually couldn't, like, I couldn't stomach more than 2 beers. And then the Sunday, I woke up and I was like, I feel like I've been hard done by because I've not managed to get on the session. So my mom, I had made no plans, and my mom was like, I was like, you what to do? I was like, looking at my watch, it's 11 o'clock. Celtic are playing at 12. I was like, let's go. Let's go to the pub. I was like, it's a bad state of affairs when you're asking your ma to go to the pub to watch a game of football she doesn't care about. And it turns out that the only pub near her in Old Kilpatrick was a Rangers pub. So I was watching a Celtic game, and I walked in just as Rangers went 2-0 up. Not Rangers, Hearts went 2-0 up. Just before half time. The goal was disallowed. But I mean, I literally
Mhm.
walked in and the bar staff were cheering. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a tough. I literally stayed for 2 pints again. Again, the entire weekend, I think I had 4 pints. I was like, over the space of 3 days, I was
Mhm.
raging. So, to be fair, all week I've been trying to get my head going. There's going to have to be a day or an evening that I can get this out of my system. And like, I've still not had it, but Jen's doing pregnancy yoga. This is probably going to clip. I'm going to sound terrible for doing this, but Jen was doing pregnancy yoga last night, and I didn't have my bike or anything, so she picked me up in town, and it was a case where literally there was an hour that I had to hang about, and it was like the place she was doing it was just on the beachfront, and there was nowhere. I was like, it's too late for coffee, so Liverpool were playing, and I just literally went in the pub. I was like, there was 2 pints, and then I started bumping into a few of the boys I know as well, though, and they were all out in the sesh for the entire night. They were there for the 5 o'clock games, 8 o'clock games, and I was like, I knew Jen was done, but she wasn't there yet, and they're like, do you want another pint? And I was like, I really do, but I don't think I can get away with it. And I was like, she ended up being in 45 minutes late. I was sitting there like without a pint in front of me as they were all like sculling them beside me. I was like, absolutely raging.
Learn your lesson. Next time, just get a fucking pint.
I know, mate. That is it. I probably could actually got to. By the time I'd been asked for a pint, I denied it. The boys were on their second or third after that. I was just watching them, and it was on the third go up to the bar. They were like, "Are you sure you don't want a pint?" And I was like, "I kind of do, but I don't." And I looked at my phone. She went, "I'm outside," and I was like, "Well, just as well I didn't order it there."
Aye, just as well I didn't order a pint 45 minutes ago.
What about it's like cool, I know. But wait till you see. I'm off on Saturday. Wait till you see me tonight. I'm going to get this right out my system. I'm going to get
Brilliant.
the cheapest cider I can for maximum effect. It's got fuck it
Oh
up. And
my God. Your gut is going to be fucked over the weekend.
do you know what it is? A bit like what you said there, and actually we touched on this before we started recording. Everything was built up to this Hyrox thing, all my training for the year. I say, like, I didn't really train, but it still was on my mind that I had to do running and like I couldn't, I had to do certain amounts of stuff for it, albeit it wasn't specific. Whilst that's out of the way, I'm like, well, this is a bit of a fresh start. I can now turn my attention to the next goal. But I'm like, I've taken this week off training and
Mhm.
also logging. I haven't quite told my own coach that at the moment, but I'm sure he'll find out at the end of the week. But whilst that I'm in party mode and holiday mode, I'm like, I just actually looking forward to that fresh start. And I always, as we said,
Mhm.
I hate starting on a Monday because I always feel that like life happens to you on Monday. It's not always in your control. I'm always dealing with other people's problems. Everybody's usually dealing with work or whatever. I find where I've had most success, I've started it at the weekend. So I'm like, I
Hmm.
need to rip the band-aid off this one quick so that as of Saturday or at worst Sunday, I start on Sunday so that literally from Sunday onwards I can catapult myself for the next couple of months and just actually set the tone. Like
Are you looking forward to it? Just getting the head down.
I am. I think I needed a wee bit of a blowout though, because I got towards the end of it. I was like, I'm just actually not enjoying how much effort this is taking at the moment. I was looking
Yeah.
forward to getting out of the way, and now it's out of the way. I'm like, cool. It almost feels like a fresh start. But because I didn't actually feel myself up until like Wednesday or Thursday, I'm like, right, I like you and I have the ability because we've done it enough times to be able to go, right, we're going to lean into this. Let's then go for a solid period of just
Yeah.
actually consolidating efforts. But yeah, it's worthwhile doing. Like,
Just a quick side note, did I just hear your cat screeching?
yeah, he doesn't it? Yeah.
But that was so fucking loud.
No, I was gonna say that's a girl we keep in the back. She's in the closet there. We'll get honest.
Oh my God. No, but I totally agree with you, mate. And like me and Kyle were just talking about this before we started recording. Like the last kind of week, maybe even week and a half, I've been pretty shite as well. Like this week's been a complete write-off for me food wise. As you know from listening to previous episodes, like I'm an emotional eater. So when stress gets too much for me, or when I let things get on top of me because I bottle things in instead of talking about it and asking for help, it's just something that's been drilled into me since I was a kid. It's just something that I'm so used to working on it. But so I bottle things in and it gets too much for me, and then I turn to food for that in the moment comfort and in the moment kind of feel better feeling. So yeah, this week's been a write-off for me food wise. Should I tell you? Should I fess up right now, live on the podcast, and tell you what I've had this week?
I'm excited to hear it, mate. Go on.
Ah, right. So between Monday and Thursday, I've had two pizzas, a KFC, and a McDonald's.
Yeah, pizzas, KFC, McDonald's. I take it there's other food consumption between that. You've not just had a meal a day.
Oh, no, no, no. Ridiculous amount of sweets as well.
Class. Sounds good, mate. How was the pizzas?
The pizzas were okay. Good in the moment, like I say. Um, the KFC was the best out of the lot, to be fair.
I've never been a big KFC fan. The buckets really used to. They still do the buckets in KFC.
Aye, aye.
They used to be the thing. Like I used to, if I was getting a KFC, it'd be a bucket. But I've not had a KFC in years. Like
Aye, I prefer KFC to McDonald's, but every morning I've been getting up. Right, today's the day I start. I'll have my oats, and then I get to the gym, and then I start tanning bags of the charity sweets. In fact, the charity guy came in on.
the
Uh,
Bernardo's.
no, it's SSPCA, like the
Right, yeah, yeah.
green boxes. The guy came in on Wednesday, and it was about £8 short, and that's because I'd been tanning them in no pain. So I
I
had to.
stealing from charity, mate.
I squared them up, of course. I squared them up, but
You
it's
ever,
just
you ever
because I
seen the
was.
you ever seen the episode of Still Game where Isa's got a addiction to signing up to charities? I, I feel like you're that you feel like you're saving the world and you're just addicted to eating charity sweets because
Aye,
honestly, the moment that you stop eating charity sweets and get over that episode of binging will be the moment that there's going to be kids dying because of that, mate. You know,
honest to God,
pressure.
I should be part shareholder in the SSPCA by now.
I think you should, mate.
Um, but yeah, it was like mindless eating. I was eating to the point I wasn't even enjoying it. Do you know what I mean? It was just for the sake of it, through boredom, through just wanting to feel a bit better in the moment. And then after it, I'm like, fucking hell, that was disgusting because the sweets aren't even great. But anyway, so before we started recording the podcast, I was telling Kyle about it. That was me kind of owning up to it, holding myself accountable. So I am actually start tracking today. Again, Rachel said to me, "Why don't you wait till Monday?" And I was like, "Ah, because if I wait till Monday, I'll rip the arse right out of it this weekend."
Oh no.
Do you know what I mean? And I'll probably get to the point where Monday will come round and I'll just feel even worse than I already feel just now. And I'll find it even harder to start Monday. So what, like, why wait till Monday? Why not just start the day that you say, right, enough's enough?
Yeah, I'd back that 100% because again, I've done it so many times where I'm like, oh, I'll start Monday, and then it'll be like Sunday's the worst day because you're like, well, this is the last supper. But
Mhm.
like for me, it would probably be a takeaway at the end of it. It'd be like a kebab or something. But I'd be like, right, we're gonna watch every single game of football and pile as much pints into me as I can. And then you wake up on Monday and you're like, oh, I feel horrific.
Aye,
Like
awful.
horrific.
There's been a couple of times this week where I've woke up in the morning feeling hungover, and it's just from eating like a big greasy pizza. That McDonald's last night was again good in the moment,
Yeah.
but you feel it the next day.
Jen and I, well, again, because I've been on holiday mode all that week this week, and she's pregnant. She was looking for what was it, a pizza or something? I was like, ah, no worries, we'll get a pizza. It wasn't even Domino's Thursdays. It was like an actual just a rogue pizza during the week. So I think it was a Tuesday or whatever. And I think I think I'm going to be careful with my words so I don't end up getting killed here. But she's having a bit of a tough time with emotions
Yeah,
when
yeah, yeah.
whatever. But she's got a very short fuse about just about everything. And I think it came to the point where I was taking Rocky a walk and I went to go and get the pizza. The guy's card machine didn't work, which was annoying because I then had to go back to the house to get money, had to get money to go back. But Jen was like, I'll say it was 20 quid or something, or 21 quid. And she's like, will they not just let you off with 20 quid? I was like, Jen, just give me, because like, I phoned her to get the cash. I don't have cash ever. I was like, have you got 21 quid? Yeah, yeah. I watched 10 minutes it took me to get home. I walked, and at that point, I then see her stand up as she sees me get in to then go upstairs to get the money. And I was like, oh, fuck's sake. So comes back down the stairs, gives me the 20 quid, and I was like, it's 21 quid, Jen. She's like, yeah, yeah, you not let you off it. I was like, Jen, I'm not going back another 10-minute walk to ask the guy if he let me off a quid. The pizza's frozen. I've been working all day. I still want my sesh as well. I feel like
Uh-huh.
I've done by my sesh, never mind my pizza. So she ends up pulling out a purse and she's literally giving me 5 cents coppers. And then I'm raging. I'm actually raging. Standing there trying not to be raging at my pregnant wife, but she's pulling out these 5 cents. I can see there's euro coins there, and I'm like, she ends up dropping the first one, and she picks up because you're not allowed. You're not meant to allow me to bend down. Um, I'm in at this point. I'm trying to bottle it in. She gives me about 40 cents. And she's still going. I mean, this is going on and on and on. And then she drops another 5 cents. I went down, I get the 5 cents, I grab a euro off her, I'm going, I'll see you later. Like, I,
I wish I was a fly in the wall in that moment.
do you know what, mate? The outcome to it is we'd end up not eating the pizza because we end up having an argument. And I'm going to my bed. I just went, so I came back with the pizza. And we always order like chicken nuggets or something for Rocky. And the only thing I could see was a sausage. So I started
Oh,
breaking up the sausage for Rocky. So I didn't even give him any of it. I just chopped up a wee bit. And she goes, that sausage was for me. That's not for. I mean, she's just screaming at me. I was like, right, cool. I've not even gave him it yet. And she just throws a water bottle out of nowhere. I ran them up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to my bed. I took the moral high ground on it, but I was raging because I was starving. I wanted to grab a few slices to take with me. Went to my bed, no pizza, nothing. Upsetting.
oh, that is absolutely fantastic. That is what a story. Did Jen listen to the podcast?
Well, if she does, we'll find out because it'll be the vlog
Oh,
next week.
that is absolutely fantastic, mate. I had a wee tear in my eye when I was laughing there.
Yeah, well, if you want to avoid carries, I think we'll just have a tactical argument before it.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, do you want to talk about the ads that scene?
Oh man, yeah. When you messaged me that, I was like, I'm not even going to respond to that because I just wanted to talk about that on the podcast.
How funny was it? So that we'll talk about the first one, right? It was the most recent one that's seen, and now these are paid ads by coaches on Instagram. So I don't know how much ads cost on Instagram. Do you? Have you worked with it before?
Yeah, so you can choose, but you can budget them between. It depends how many people you want to see them, but you can budget it between. I think it's like 3 quid to 40 quid a day, depending
A
on what.
day.
Yeah, yeah, a day, yeah.
Aye. So like, now bear in mind, people are paying for other people to see this. So thousands and thousands of people are going to see this. And the guy said, "Are you one of the dickheads that spends 100 quid at the weekend on booze and alcohol?" And I just thought to myself, booze is alcohol, and you're paying for people to see this. How thick can you be?
be a great one if somebody said to you, "It's like, have you been boozing?" Like, no, I've just been drinking alcohol. How'd you going?
100%. But like, just takes 2 seconds to repeat what you're saying before you actually record it or watch it back before you post it.
I've seen some absolute shifters on that. Like yours, the dollar one's very good as well. That you've got like,
Aye,
see when you see somebody, I'm like, your best work is what you're paying for people to see. The first impression of cold traffic coming to you is looking at you, and you've not even fucking read it back. Like,
aye.
you look like an absolute fuck nugget. Like, what are you doing? Like, I know that we all make spelling mistakes and say stupid things, but realistically, I'm like, if you're paying for that to be seen
Mhm.
by more people as an advertisement, what you doing?
Aye. The top comment on it was booze and alcohol, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yeah, some boy.
Bonkers. But the
Um,
next one's even better, isn't it?
Give us the next one again.
Oh
Refresh
my
me on
God. Are you this guy, massive, obviously on the extra vitamins,
it.
looking at the camera. Are you I think it's started with are you a man or are you a man between the ages of 30 and above?
It's a
That's
fairly wide spectrum, that one is.
that's not between any ages at all. That's just 30 or above.
Do you a man between the ages of 30 and above?
Aye.
Do you know when they say that steroids can like grow other things other than your muscles? Definitely not growing that guy's brain.
No,
Definitely.
100%. No, no, I think they're shrinking his brain just as well, just as much as they're shrinking his balls.
Doesn't matter how low he squats, his balls are touching the ground.
But genuinely, like, again, watch that back. Are you between the ages of 30 or above? It doesn't even make sense.
You will find though there'll be people who sign up to it, and there'll be people who sign up to it who I'm not whatever, but there tends to be people who don't know that attention to detail. They'll look at it and go, yeah, I sound I'm that age range.
Hmm.
But then you'll find that probably a lot of what he does, like if he's not paying that much attention to detail about the thing that he's trying to show everything else and try to attract people in, what else is he not paying attention to detail on? And it
Aye.
becomes, we've got a gym owner over here, independent gym, and puts out posts like that where he just calls everybody. Like, I mean, essentially, he just abuses everybody. It's not like, it's in an entertaining way to a point, but it's also like, if you're a gym member there, you are just, and I think they're too fit. The people that he attracts, there's the cheapest gym in town, and that he's got his posts are littered with spelling mistakes, and it's just the way he speaks to people, and it's like, but you've attracted that type of person who thinks that's okay into the gym, which then means that you have more dense people in a gym.
Hmm.
And it's like you've got just a cesspit and an echo chamber of dense people that are constantly. He's moaning about how his gym members are dense, but I'm like, do you not understand that you're attracting dense members by your message? I'm like,
Aye.
let's look at where the bottleneck here is.
Aye. But people are just so fucking, their head's so far up their own arse they can't see it.
Yeah. To be fair,
See,
I'd never be allowed to do that because my ma, anytime that I put up anything that's like, I think I spelled, there's two words. I spelled guaranteed wrong because I always do that where I put the A in front of the U when it should be the opposite way about. Learned my lesson on that now. I'd literally get fucking anxiety every time. I try and find other words not to say guaranteed, but try and say guaranteed. And then the other word was professionals. I think there was an F or a random S. I'm still actually not entirely sure how to spell that, but I need to spell check it every time. My mom's like, you'll never get professionals in your business if you can't spell professional right. All right, calm down.
all right, Con, settled in. I just thought a good kind of example of people if anybody's struggling to understand that age thing. That's the equivalent to us saying to you, I want you to do 3 sets of between 5 reps and above. Am I right? Or am I right?
You're 100% right, mate.
So anywhere between 5 and above reps.
I actually, in fairness, got stung with this quite recently where my fat fingers, when I was typing in RDLs, I meant to put a rep range of 10 to 12 on the set. And my fat fingers obviously didn't realise that 1 and 2 are quite close to each other. So I put 10 to 23 reps.
Mate,
And
you've done that on my program.
that's probably you that I'm talking about then, whatever. But
Aye. It's close grip lat pull downs to do between 10 and 23 reps.
there you go. I knew it does. coincidental events that here we are. So yes, at one point Gary possibly is doing between 10 and above.
I'm pretty much shy between 10 and above. So you can sure as shit guarantee I am doing 3 sets of 10.
I'll tell you what, you've done fucking none this week, have you? So,
Oh, you bastard, I've trained twice.
oh, fair enough. Yeah, I wrote you off for the week, but there we are. There's positive.
Oh, and I've also agreed to do 24.1 today.
That's so. Let me get that right. You've got double unders, rowing, and what's the other thing?
No, that's 24.2.
All right. Okay. Sorry. Go on. What's 24?
24.1 is 21.15.9 dumbbell snatches and burpees, but you do 21 dumbbell snatches on one arm, 21 burpees, 21 dumbbell snatches on the other arm, 21 burpees, and then you do 15, and then you do 9.
Is it? What's the standard weight? Is it 22 and a half for males?
22 and a half. So I am going to fucking, and it's a 15-minute time cap, which I am definitely going over.
Yeah. I feel for you on that, mate. I really do. There's nothing. Do you know what annoys me that they've got this standard weight being 22? I know they need to because it's obviously a competition, but
Mhm.
fuck me, 22 and a half to swing up. Like for the majority of people, and that being the very first thing they do, I'm like, this is the thing that does annoy me about CrossFit is the fact that there is such a barrier to entry because
Yeah.
no matter how good yours or mine or whatever snatch technique is, it's not going to be efficient enough to do that under fatigue. You are ending up going
Mhm.
to fuck your shoulders like constantly, and like the barrier to entry is quite high. Like,
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think that's why Hyrox is so popular because literally anyone can do it. There's nothing like there's no Adese of let's just randomly throw in 3 heavy snatches in the middle of a fucking half marathon. Um,
I think
Hyrox is sorry on you go.
no, I was going to say you're 100% right. I was actually having that conversation with a girl who done it the other day, and it was like somebody's very, very clever in the sense that
Hmm.
like it actually feels quite solid when you're doing it, but
Hmm.
there's nothing there that like you could be any age to a point, 30
Yeah.
and above. But you could be any age, and you could still technically complete it. Now, it depends how intense you want to go. Like, I made the mistake of firstly not knowing how many laps I had to run, so I was running an extra lap than everybody for the first 20 minutes, which wasn't ideal. And then obviously got competitive and was leading it and wanted to continue leading it, and then realized that my heart rate didn't had other ideas. So like, but realistically, I probably should have taken it a lot easier. And if I knew the rules, I probably had a fairly comfortable. I could have had a fairly comfortable event. There was people fucking dance at the end when they were done. And there was people dying. It's up to you what you do, but everybody feels like sure you've got it on Instagram. It's like Hyrox athlete, like
Yeah.
Hyrox finisher. I'm like, yeah, mate, well done.
And you've got the wee patch on your bag.
I lost that patch before I even got out the fucking place, mate.
You fucking idiot.
What was I going to do with it, man? I'd rather finger my grand and fucking wear that.
Oh, Kyle Watson.
My podcast. It's your podcast. Do what we
Ah.
want.
Here, did you see Emma's time for last week?
I knew it was quicker than mine.
112.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was going to say, and she's doing that with. Are we allowed to say that she's having a baby yet? Is it
Aye,
next
aye,
week?
she's announced it. Aye, aye, she's
Just didn't want
announced
to delay
it.
this podcast for another 3 weeks. I said it.
Aye, no, she announced it in her Hyrox post.
Right,
I
class.
think she finished 15th overall in her age group.
Fair play.
So yeah, 15th overall whilst 15 weeks pregnant was her post. So that's pretty good going. Even for somebody that's no 15 weeks pregnant, that is fucking fantastic.
That's like 100%. Kudos to kudos to him. Like it's fair. I don't know. I kind of feel like I've got unfinished business in the sense that I think if I knew what I was doing and
Hmm.
I've would train specific movements, I could probably shave about half an hour off the time that it took me to do it. Do I want to put myself through that again? I don't know. It's don't rule it out. Like
I mean, you probably don't in this moment because you never really trained for it and it was fucking hard. But I think if you give yourself at least maybe 3 months beforehand to actually do a proper training regime.
do you know what annoyed me the most, mate, was the fact that I'd ran an extra lap than everybody 3 times, and
Aye.
I was laughing, mate. I was out the blocks, mate. I was laughing. People like I've run a half marathon in just over an hour and a half. I know I can keep 4:30 kilometer paces,
Hmm.
and I literally was taking people And I looked at one point and I was like, this guy, I've overtaken him, and he's starting to head in towards the next thing. I'm like, why is he going in and he's got an extra lap to do? And you know what? That mind that was playing in my mind, going, has he
Yeah,
skipped a lap? And then I was like, I'm pretty fucked. And the time seems to be for this pace I'm going at. It seems it's taking me a bit longer to get through these than what I thought. It was only like literally when I got to 25 minutes in, I was like, I'm doing an extra lap than everybody. I've ran about an extra kilometre and a half than everybody else. And I'd
oh,
done it at a pace where I was just absolutely ruined because it was never going. The running was going to be for me the easier part because I can
yeah.
run at a good pace, and I'm like I've now had that taken away. And according to the whatever they've got, at one of the laps it took me 9 minutes to do a kilometre, and I was like, even when I was at the uphill part of a marathon doing 40 kilometres in,
Hmm.
it still didn't take me 9 minutes to do a kilometre. It was fucking no chance. I was doing extra.
Aye.
It's like that was honking.
I mean, at least you know for next year,
Well, next year, mate. I'll get,
eh?
I'll get my badge back again next year.
Exactly, exactly.
Redemption.
Why don't you do Spartan with me next year?
When, where, who, what, why?
I think it's usually kind of June-ish time, round about Nottingham. They used to have one in Scotland. They done it in Perth one year, they done it in Edinburgh one year. But since COVID, they just never got it back. So hopefully next year they bring it back to Scotland. But the closest to us right now is Midlands, which is just right next to Nottingham.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, like I wanted to do it this year, but obviously try to buy a house and stuff, so that kind of took priority. And it's basically it would essentially be a weekend away because you can't go down, do Spartan, and then come back the same night because you're fucked. Like took me in Edinburgh, it took me 6.5 hours. In Canada, it took us 7.5, as you know.
Yeah, Nottingham was
So
quite difficult to get to and from as well because I was meant to have a photo shoot. That was where originally my photo shoot was meant to be last
mhm.
March, and I booked flights and my hotel and everything, and it was the most painful thing to try and get to and from because it's almost like there's one flight in and out a day, and if you miss it, you're in trouble. And I was like, right,
Well,
so I'm stuck in Nottingham.
that easy solution, mate. Just fly to Glasgow and I'll drive.
You've kind of sold that to me. And it's recorded, so there's no real backing out of it. And you know how I'm very easily led. So there you are.
Spartan Beast next year. Spartan Beast 2025.
It sounds painful just with Beast in front of anything, doesn't it? Like,
Oh, mate, you'll be in agony for days.
I've still not genuinely recovered from the weekend just past there. I've recovered by next June. We'll see.
Yeah, if there's anybody listening fancies tackling the Spartan Beast with us, then let us know. Usually, like I say, it's usually about June time, so June 2025. I recommend starting to train now.
Learn from my mistakes of not training.
Learn. Learn from Kylie's mistakes, not training for Hyrox. Like, if you think Hyrox looks hard, think of Hyrox on steroids.
Oh man, saying that's few big boys doing Hyrox. I'm telling you that, like there was no drug testing going on that day. I fucking tell you that for free.
Again, that's probably why it appeals to the masses because
Mate, I was looking at a guy and it was almost like the fucking place just went dark and the sun had gone because the guy's traps were just blocking everything out. But it wasn't just like a big ball of mass. He was fucking lean. There was veins coming out his traps. I'm like, you
was
aren't on baked beans, are you?
he caked in tattoos?
No, he was not. No, he looked like Action Man.
Fair dues, fair dues.
There's nothing that makes you feel bad about yourself than turning up to the warm-up area and there's a guy already with his top off who looks like he's just been made in a video game. He looked like fucking a boss from Tekken or something. I'm just like, oh man, I'm fucked. There's not a
Nah,
chance that yeah.
I want to see his times for the kilometers because I can guarantee you his was probably about 9 minutes.
Probably say so, mate. But I'd say he probably used the fucking sled push as like he was pushing a shopping trolley.
Pushing the wains in the pram.
Mate, if anything, actually, the issue with the first part of the like I hadn't pushed a sled, especially that heavy. And then I flew through it, mate. I had Deacon Kev tell me to slow down. I said, nah, I'm away. And it was like literally sprinting through, going, I'm leading this bad boy. I'm gonna if I send it now, I'll be fine. I can
Mhm,
catch my breath. Started panicking, mate, because you know that way sometimes, like even when I do CrossFit or whatever, I'm like, when things are tough, my heart rate comes down quite quickly. I
mhm.
was like, my heart rate's not coming down here. And then as I was trying to jog again, there was a guy in a stretcher. Like, it was white, mate. He had an oxygen mask on. I don't know if he's dead or no, but I'm like, this is ominous. Like, I am going to die here. Like, this is what's going to happen. And then as it got on, I hadn't ate or drank really, so I started drinking Red Bull as you go along. I was like, I'm going to be sick. And I was like, where
Mhm.
do you be sick? And then I was looking about for bins. There was no bins. And then I did see there was somebody who must have been sick just in, like, over the railing. I clocked it and I was like, right, cool. My next lap round, if I need to be sick, I'm just going to be sick on top of there sick. So it's easier for the cleaner. Like, thinking man here.
Ah, aye. Thinking about the cleaner. I bet not everybody was thinking about the cleaner as they were running laps around Hyrox.
No, they were not. No, no, but we survived. I'd rather a badge, like not one of those gimpy badges you put on your. Oh, I tell you what, there's another thing. Again, probably not the most inclusive thing I'm going to say, but do you know what? See, when something becomes a personality trait for people, like where
Yeah.
it's now, I've experienced it with powerlifting, where it's like people just became powerlifters and they actually fitted into, like skateboarders, they have a certain stereotype, a certain look, like powerlifters
Hmm.
have that certain look. I was like, bodybuilders, the same. I was like, Hyrox, they've got
Yes.
this. It's like, they've got a certain look to them, they've got all the bags, they're dressed head to toe in the gear, and it's like, Instagram bio is Hyrox athlete, Hyrox finisher, Hyrox
Aye.
coach taking clients on now. And I'm like, man, you've done a glorified obstacle course. Calm down.
That's what it is. How long did it take you? An hour? An hour and a half? Sit down. Sit down.
It's got to say, your ancestors will be laughing at you. Calm down.
Aye. So, right, next year, Beast is happening. Anybody listening that wants to do it with us, let us know, and we'll make it happen. We'll make a weekend of it. If
Well,
he's over in Ireland, then fly to Glasgow, and I can even hire like a bus or something to take everybody down.
Gary's driving half Ireland, isn't it?
Oh, let's do it. Let's make it happen. It's such a good time. So for anybody that doesn't know what it is, it's essentially a half marathon with 30 plus obstacles around the course. If you fail an obstacle, you either need to do like a forfeit lap. It varies in distance, but sometimes it's directly like straight up a hill. Sometimes it's just a longer distance on flat ground, or 30 chest to floor burpees before you can move on. So it's basically don't fail an obstacle.
Sounds it. But can I put in my bio after that Spartan finisher?
Aye,
Spartan athlete,
100%.
Spartan beast.
Spartan athlete, hybrid athlete.
Hybrid athlete. Hold on, have I got? No, I thought I had a t-shirt. I do have a t-shirt that says the Hybrid Academy.
Nice.
I thought I had it on today, and I was like, there I am, hybrid mate. That's me.
Aye. Once you get to the end, it's in your bio, it's OCR King.
Oh, superb.
Um, what else you want to talk about, man? This is class. Like we've come in with absolutely nothing because we both forgot we were recording a podcast and we spoke shite the whole time.
Yeah, I've got less than 5 minutes till I need to go. So unless there's anything particular you want to add, and I'm happy to speak for another 5 minutes if you want. But nothing.
Oh, nah.
It's almost like you went into the archives there. It's like Netflix, mate. You just had all these different possibilities, and you were
Aye.
like, will I? Nah.
That's exactly what it was, man. Just fucking too much choice, too much to choose from. No, I'm going to go and get myself sorted in prep for 24.1, which I'm not looking forward to. I'll let you know how it goes.
CrossFit.
Probably end up frying my show. Aye, as soon as I finish 24.1, I'm putting CrossFit athlete in my bio,
Putting on clients for CrossFit, mate.
taking on clients for CrossFit, and I'm going to make a reel about it and all.
Just on that, like, because I know Hyrox is the most trending, I think, sport or whatever you want to call it in the world right now. I put up that reel of me doing terrible at Hyrox, and it wasn't like, it literally was just because I'm like, if I'm doing this, I'm getting content because I've done fuck all for the
Mhm.
week. Mate, it's literally so my, I think, most viewed reel before that was like 11,000. This is up at 42, I think, at the moment. And it's getting, mate,
Nice.
there's random people sharing it in their stories and stuff. And I'm like, I can see the temptation of people to be at High Rocks coaching training, like, and typing in High Rocks all the time. Because I'm like, if all my content was, like, you see it all the time, like, it's on my newsfeed and I don't even watch it really, is
Mhm.
how to get more effective at your lunges, how to get more effective at your wall balls, how to
Aye.
whatever. And it's like, I can understand why people are into it, but I'm like, to be fair, none of it's that fucking skillful. Like, let's be fair, it's like, you just
It's
need,
mostly cardio.
you just do like you just need to know what's going on and don't be
Hmm.
a simpleton like I was and just go in and hope for the best. Like that's not what to do. Like go in with a plan.
I know exactly. Going with a plan, do a wee bit of training, but it is mostly, it's no technical, it's no skillful. Hyrox athletes are going to hate me for saying that.
Fuck 'em.
It's basically just cardio at the end of the day. Speaking of views on reels, did you see that reel? Obviously, you seen that reel that I get tagged in from Portugal, that horrible wee kind of wad finisher that we did with like fries and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, I thought you were talking about your SAG weekend there, and I was like, what?
No, no, that's Tenerife, I mean it. No, 2 weeks before that,
Oh,
Portugal
sorry, Mr.
done.
Worldwide over there. I was
Done a
like,
wee, done a wee girls v boys. Emma was in it as well. Girls v boys
I
kind
did
of
see that,
wad
mate. Yeah,
finisher.
you look like you're
So
dying.
I was fucked. I was nearly hitting the post workout whitey, but 77,500 views.
77,500 views. Jesus.
77 and a half. And do you know why that is?
Because it's because you died, mate.
It's, no, it's literally because we tagged Fraz. It's bonkers.
I'm going to tag him in my room.
That's it, man. Give him a wee tag, man. Get him in as a collaborator, and your views will go through the roof.
Easy views.
Easy days. But anyway, shall we wrap it up since you've got to head off?
Yes, Gary, where can I find you?
You can find me on Instagram at gmac_health and fitness. Kyle, where can I find you?
At your local Hyrox event. Hyrox coach. Biofitness88 on Instagram,
Cool.
and that's about it. Yeah.
As always, I'll post the direct links to the Instagrams in the description of this episode. And I thank you all for listening to the absolute drivel that comes out of mine and Kyle's mouth.
Cheers, guys. See you
Have a good
later.
one. See you later.
Bye bye.